Radha Patel has a background in corporate hospitality and account management before founding a personalized matchmaking company for South Asian singles in the US. The Auntie Network, a family focused dating app that promotes collaborative matchmaking in the South Asian American community.
I mean, I don't not believe in them, but I think any way to find a love is important. So, like, if my mom finds it, she finds it. If I find it, I find it. I'm just looking for love. I think someone who's just like not willing to be like with my family, because I'm a package deal when it comes to my family. Someone who's like not family oriented, doesn't want children, or just really bad communication.
I think it's great, you know, you get to connect a lot of people and stuff like that, and so you can find like your future match.
I definitely think it would have been beneficial because like this particular platform, it allows both parties to be involved and you have ultimately the same goal to try to find a match, but within your own terms, and there's boundaries of course, because she would have been able to search her own way, recommend people to me, and I would have approved them, disapproved them, and like been able to have conversations and get to know the person for myself instead of going through middle people, you know.
I think it's really cool. I think the whole concept is new and exciting, and I think that right now people are really like looking for help in like the dating market. There's so many apps out there, so like this is definitely going to stand out with what it has going on.
So, have you ever been set up by a family member?
Yes.
And
I am.
How'd it go?
It went well. I'm still married.
So you trust me?
If the kid or somebody who needs help, I would highly recommend, because you know the family and you know what you are coming with and what is the background. So it always helps to know the person with the family, so that later on you don't say, oh, I did not know about this, and what I'm getting into.
Wow. You should talk to my mom. She says the same things.
So I honestly think the Auntie Network is pretty cool. I have been around like, you know, a lot of different Indian families. I live around them a lot too. So I think this is actually a pretty cool like platform, because it does help them, you know, get an easier way to collaborate with both the parents and the children, not just being like so pressured on the child, but more so allowing the parents to be involved in the process as well.
To start with, but then I think
It depends actually on the family too,
Yeah.
right?
But like family involvement, like with how important is having like cultures and values kind of align between the two couples?
It depends on the person, you know. If the person I'm looking for a match, if he or she doesn't want the family's involvement at that moment, you know, that's
Yeah.
fine. But eventually, yes,
Yeah.
like, you know, when they use this kind of a platform,
Yeah.
I believe that, you know, they look for some kind of a similarity or a culture match or something.
Yeah.
That's a requisite, I believe, like when you go through this kind of platform.
What are your thoughts on the Auntie Network? Like your first initial thoughts when you heard about
It's a
it?
great idea, and especially in
Really good idea.
USA, it's very important to have that kind of
Everybody's
network.
so
Yes.
spread out.
Yes,
right?
spread out. It's a very good point of connection. Yeah.
I think it's the most creative thought. Whoever had it, whoever came up with the idea,
Yeah.
brilliant. And I think that's a great way to get, you know, intergenerational support in this very important challenge, I would say, that young people are facing now. Parents are also facing. It's our challenge too, where we want our children to meet the right person to spend the rest of their lives with. It's a very important decision. I feel more important than your education, your career. I really think that there's nothing that matters more than who you marry. So if this decision is made collectively with you know, a few people collaboratively thinking about it, making the right choice, I'm sure it would be a better choice.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's what I love about it.
It was actually really, really important to us, and that's one of the reasons that brought us together. Is one of our parents are really, really good friends from Burma,
Yeah.
and so it's made like our married life so much easier because our parents just hang out.
Yeah.
They're buddies.
So like, when you were looking for a spouse, like how important was that for like traditions and values to all kind of align?
It was really important for me that I got along with my in-laws and my parents got along with my in-laws, and it was like I knew that getting married, because especially with how close I am to my family, wasn't going to be just like my husband and I.
Yeah. So
there was a village.
So you needed your mom's approval like the first minute.
Yeah, and I have really like loving, accepting parents, so I knew that they would be happy as long as I was happy. So I knew that, but I just wanted my parents to be able to like revel in the joy of having like more family.
Yeah. So like, do you think if you were ever on the Auntie Network, that would have happened with the Auntie Network?
I think so. Yeah.
So
I think
what
if
were,
my
like, the
mom
first
was
steps?
involved in the process, my mom said she couldn't have chose better herself.
Welcome to ITV Gold Studio, Radha, or should I call you Radha Aunty?
Thank you so much, Nidhi. Yes, Radha Aunty is cute, but Radha is fine.
Great. What made you take on this venture? I see you've been married for the last 12 years, have 2 great human kids and 1 beautiful dog kid. Why this? Why now?
You know, I've been a connector my whole life. I love meeting people and networking. So that turned into matchmaking. And along the way, I realized that parents do not have a way to formally be involved in the process, especially in this country. So I decided, why not create something geared specifically for them to help them in the search on behalf of a future partner for their children.
So tell me, why Auntie Network and not something like Made in Heaven or Rishte Hi Rishte or eShadi.com? Aunties are nosy. They've been there since time immemorial. When pigeons were training in their diapers on how to deliver messages written on rolled paper, aunties were there before old dialing telephones, SMS, MMS, WhatsApp or text, and can still put them to shame when it comes to revealing, exposing, gossiping about what's happening next door or the next neighborhood. And sometimes it's scary to think, if we party all night, Auntie Police bula legi. Your take on that?
That was hilarious. Yes, well, the Auntie Network can be known for some of these negative aspects, but did you know aunties also have a Rolodex of who's single, who's looking, what family they come from, and many matches or rishta are happening already informally. So we're going to take the good, positive elements of the Auntie Network and bring that on a technological platform.
Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming your customer care ladies are called aunties also. Are there uncles also, or are these bots called aunties?
So our mascot's name is Sheila Auntie. So if you see her talking, but absolutely, it is a family-based app. So once you sign up, you'll see that all of our verbiage and everything is for men and women. It's not just only for aunties. We welcome chachas, uncles, friends, neighbors, anyone who's got a vested interest in helping a single person find their life partner.
Mm-hmm. So you call Auntie Network a dating app for Desi parents. Explain that.
Yes, so right now there's dating apps out there where kids are on there, they're searching, they're dating, they're figuring it out. Parents have no window into what that looks like. Any of the traditional platforms, such as the matrimonial platforms, they also are more of that old school where we've been doing for 20-something years. They have no idea what the app concept is. So I wanted to create something that gives them a window into what their children are facing on a day-to-day basis when they're looking, and also allow them to positively impact that search.
So are the profiles set up by parents, or is it done by singles?
They're done by the singles. So being a first generation South Asian myself, I wanted to keep the elements what inspired me when I got married intact for this next generation as well. So a parent signs up with their own name and information and their own photo. And then they sign up their children as separate profiles. So the children are searchable, but parents can then see who is the proxy for that member and talk directly to the family, even without getting their children involved if they want.
Is it like spying on your kids, like because you've set up the profile for them?
No, the kids set up their own profile. You just invite them to join, and then everything, it's not spying, right? Because it's publicly available. Yeah.
Okay, great. Is there an auntie present when a boy, girl, or families meet?
No, we don't do any chaperoning. It works like a traditional dating app in the sense that they connect on their own and then take it further.
What's your take on Indian matchmaking show on Netflix and Seema Auntie? Was she the inspiration somewhere?
No, so I started matchmaking in 2018, well before the show came out. I love Seema Aunty. I think that, what she did and her success stories in India clearly does not translate or resonate in this country. And that's what we saw in the show. I know they're trying again with season 2, but a show at the end of the day is about the dramatic elements. And I think that Seema Aunty is doing a great service in her own way.
So this was pretty much like a scripted show, more for entertainment.
I think so. I mean, you can see that. I think that if you look at her success stories from her clients in the past and the fact that on the show she didn't have any successful matches, I think that that doesn't sound right to me.
So do you have any profiles of same-sex marriage candidates also?
Absolutely. Our onboarding process leaves that open. We encourage any and all people with any background. As long as you identify as being South Asian, we'd love to have you.
So is there an auntie or the bot available to mediate when there are disgruntled parents?
No, we work as a traditional dating app. So once you're on it, it is the members. We have reporting functions and safety features like all traditional apps. So if there's anything inappropriate happening, obviously we notify and get them off the platform. But we really allow families to connect with each other because they know what's best and what they're looking for, what questions they want to ask.
So how is your matchmaking engine different in terms of technology, features, user friendliness compared to other matchmaking engines?
I think it's very user-friendly. We know that parents, maybe they're not as technologically savvy, or maybe they don't necessarily want to put all their information out there. So we make it very easy for parents to sign up. It's very easy to sign up. We make it, simple email address and phone number to get started for the parents. Then they invite their children, and the children is where they put on their full bio, photos, interests, what they're looking for, and their search parameters. So it's very easy, typical, 3-minute process to sign up.
What was the inspiration behind this?
So working with singles and working with families, I realized that you can't cut families out. They are involved, they know what they're looking for, what's important, and singles also have already asked their parents for help. They've asked them to send them, if they know any eligible people, but the disconnect is the platform. It's going through WhatsApp, it's coming through phone calls, it's not very, and then there's no follow-up. And I heard a lot of stories of, children going home for Sunday dinner and getting into fights with their parents because they didn't call so-and-so's uncle's nephew back in time or whatever. So we're eliminating all of that by putting everything on the platform, and it's transparent. Parents will know if the child has accepted or rejected that match, and you can communicate directly in the app with your single, even if they're not at home.
So can you guarantee the candidates' matches meet their preferences in terms of physical attributes, age, interest, religion, or if they have a green card? Or do you charge extra for matching that?
So we don't guarantee in life and in love. There are no guarantees. It's all about the effort and energy you put into it. But we do have our filter criteria based on religious background, ethnic background. We only operate in the United States, so immigration status corresponding with that. But they do physically need to be in America in order to be eligible.
So realistically speaking, at what age do you see red flags or challenges for singles who are not exactly young? How do you help them find the right candidate?
Red flags doesn't necessarily correspond with age. It's all about your lived experience, what you've had in the past, how you got to where you are. I don't think there's a right or wrong age to get married as long as you personally have done the work on yourself, or where you want to be in life, and you're ready and open to let somebody new in and share that with them.
What kind of research did you put in your app?
A lot of research. So being a matchmaker by profession, I've met with thousands of single people.
Wow.
And correspondingly their parents and families as well. So that was the crux of when that idea came to me. I had friends and family who were always asking me, Radha, do you know anybody? Do you know anybody? And I realized that even when my uncles and aunties are asking me to help them find somebody for their people in their life, that's when I thought, okay, I need to give them a way to search for themselves. And that all of that years of personal work led to the idea. And then when we came up with the app, we obviously did a lot of extensive market research. We surveyed individuals, found that most people have already asked their parents for help. And we know parents are already actively searching for singles. So this is just bringing them two together.
How wonderful. How supportive has your family been in your venture?
Very supportive. My husband and my children are amazing. Even on the way here, my daughter was like, Mom, which dress are you going to wear for the Auntie Network interview? So it is definitely a family affair. And they give me inspiration, courage, support whenever you need it. And so it's amazing. And I'd say my extended family as well. My parents are the inspiration into maybe why I got into matchmaking to begin with.
So talk about that story.
So my parents had a love marriage way back in the day. And growing up, we always heard from them that it's not about this caste or this community. It's all about just bringing two people together. And they've always been supportive at any marriages in our family. If the parents were against it, my parents were always there to support and help. And they were matchmakers of their own. They've had a couple of marriages under their belt that they've had help set up. So I've just grown up in an environment where we believe in bringing people together. That's ultimately, and I think COVID taught us that too. At the end of the day, bringing people together, being with that loved one is what matters in any capacity.
Before the show began, you were talking about how you met your husband.
Yes, so I met my husband at a matrimonial convention way back before there was matrimonial apps or anything like that. I used to go with my friends as part of the Samaj organizations. They would have speed dating events. And I'd go for years just not thinking anything of it. And one of those years, I met my husband. And we've been married for almost 13 years now.
How wonderful. Do you provide background checks for potential candidates?
Yes, we do mobile verification to ensure that they are living in the United States. And then our next version of the app is going to incorporate a little bit more enhanced security and background checks.
Talk about some success stories on your site. Do you have client references and verified reviews and client testimonials online?
Absolutely. If you visit our website, theauntienetwork.com, we have a testimonial section. Includes a couple of videos when we introduce this to people in the market, some testimonials about working with me and just why this is such a needed product.
So any last words before we leave?
Just that, thank you so much for this opportunity. I think that, as I mentioned, the gap in the market, really giving parents and proxies, family members, a way to proactively be involved in the matrimonial process was much needed, and we are here to deliver. So, Auntie knows best.
Radha Aunty knows best. So thank you so much for talking to us, and all the best for your Auntie Network venture.
Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you.
Pleasure.